This is Murrow and Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 5.
Tonight, the manhunt continues for two suspects tied to a deadly mass shooting in Fresno. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning us in. I'm Ken Malloy.
And I'm Catherine Herr. The mass shooting happened around 8 o'clock last night at a home on Lamona near Olive and Peach in Fresno. 4 of those victims died. 6 others were wounded.
We have live team coverage tonight. We begin with CBS 47's Angelica Lalani, who joins us live at police headquarters and targeted.
That's right. Police say that there was 16 men in the backyard of this house watching football. Now, they say that some of these men were involved in some kind of disturbance last week, but police are still looking into seeing if that is related to last night's shooting. Now, police say that there's plenty of questions as to whether or not this is gang related. A horrific scene in southeast Fresno Sunday night.
RP just yelling and screaming that multiple people got shot.
Dozens of ambulances, police, and other first responders helping victims shot at a home on Lamona near Peach and Olive. It all started around 8 o'clock. Fresno Police Chief Andy Hall says about 30 people, mainly family members, including children, gathered to watch a football game when out of nowhere bullets started flying.
The witnesses described only seeing flashes of light from the weapon, as it was too dark on that side of the house to see the suspects.
Hall says it's pure luck that the women and children were inside when gunshots rang out. He believes at least 2 suspects entered a side gate that was unlocked.
They walked into the backyard and began immediately firing into the crowd. There were approximately 16 male adults in the backyard watching football.
Of those 16, 10 men were shot. 3 of them died at the scene and 1 died at a local hospital.
This was not a random act. It appears that this incident was a targeted act of violence against this residence.
Police say all victims are from the Hmong community. Hall says there's been a recent uptick in violence in the Southeast Asian community. They've had 11 incidents since the beginning of the year. 3 of them just this month were gang-related. 1 was hours prior to this shooting where a Hmong man was fatally shot while asleep in bed. Chief Hall now establishing an Asian gang task force.
This will be a combined effort with the Fresno Police Department, its multi-gang task force, as well as officers, Southeast Asian officers from our department who are connected in the community, and our federal and state assets.
And police say that friends and family of the victims at the gathering are cooperating. They're looking for any surveillance video, and they're asking if anyone knows anything or has heard anything to give them a call. Now, there is a $5,000 reward, and you can remain anonymous. Reporting live in downtown Fresno tonight, I'm Angelica Leilani, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Angelica, thank you much. Our team coverage continues tonight. We are learning the names of the victims from last night's deadly shooting. One of the victims is a famous Hmong artist who moved to the U.S. from Thailand. CBS 47's Medeiros Babb joins us live with the latest on this part of the story. Medeiros.
Well, Ken, the ages of the men range from 23 to 40 years old. 2 of them well-known Hmong music artists, including C. Lee. This video of Lily Vang and C. Lee has over 3 million views on YouTube. Lee, a famous Hmong artist, moved to the U.S. from Thailand as a refugee in the early 2000s, his aunt Lily Vang serving as his music mentor.
It was the opportunity for him to really chase his dreams.
3 albums and millions of fans later, he was truly living the American dream. Until Sunday, when his life was cut short in southeast Fresno while at a football watch party.
When I heard about the news, I felt very broken. He definitely imprinted on me. He was like a little brother to me, and I am very shocked. I lost like a piece of me, and he really took a piece of my heart.
Fans and other artists also devastated. Jake Tao, who met C around 5 years ago, saying he is still in disbelief.
There's no way to explain how emotional, how mentally distressed we are with this scenario, because they're just really nice, kind people. And why that house specifically?
3 others also died. They were identified by the Fresno Sheriff's Office as 31-year-old Fia Vang, 38-year-old Ku Zong, and 40-year-old Ikalazang Tao. Pao Yang from the Fresno Center saying 2 of the men well known in the Hmong community.
They come out and perform to our mental health clients, every year, especially gearing up for the Hmong New Year.
Fans were planning on seeing C perform up in Sacramento on November 29th, but now they will never get that chance. 6 others were also injured because of the shooting, some of which are being treated here at CRMC. Reporting live, Medeiros Babb, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Medeiros, thank you much. Today, Fresno Mayor Lee Brand released a statement regarding the shooting, saying in part, "My prayers go out to the victims and their families, along with the promise that those responsible for this horrific crime will face the full force of justice."
I've reached out to local law enforcement, and we're ready to assist in any way possible. Spoken with the mayor and the chief of police, and certainly our thoughts and prayers with the victims and their families.
Also today, Valley Congressman Jim Costa offered condolences as he spoke on the floor of Congress this morning. He's also sponsored bills for more background checks and a ban on assault-style weapons. Our team coverage continues with reaction from residents in that neighborhood.
They're still trying to grasp the emerging tragedy. CBS 47's Kaylee Hunt spent the day talking with shell-shocked neighbors.
Neighbors tell me how shocked they are that this happened, and they want to know what Fresno police will do to make them feel safe.
What took place last night, just as it shocked my officers that arrived there, has shocked that whole neighborhood.
Captain Anthony Martinez speaking out after a deadly shooting taking place in southeast Fresno.
There has to be a public safety issue. But when all these gatherings are happening, do we feel safe, and should we feel safe? And how do we work with our police to make sure that that message gets across?
Former Fresno City Council member Blanc Zhang says he has gotten numerous calls from worried neighbors wanting to know what Fresno police will do to keep their neighborhood safe.
So how do we move forward in such a quick manner here because of the issue, the tragedy, because this is a busy time for our community.
One neighbor who did not want to be on camera says this is a family neighborhood, the last place a shooting like this should happen.
It's like a family area, so you don't really think something like that's going to happen. And then for something like that's going to happen, every day, every morning, there's just kids outside playing basketball or just people taking walks.
Another neighbor telling me he has lived here for 10 years and he has never had a problem.
It's quiet. We've never had no problems here. The only problem is that we did, those apartments back there.
According to Captain Martinez, their #1 priority is to ensure the safety of everyone in southeast Fresno.
We want the citizens of Fresno to know that we're doing everything we can to calm the violence and ensure that this doesn't spark in any other neighborhood in Fresno, specifically in that neighborhood where this took place last night.
Fresno police say they will continue to patrol this neighborhood until the suspects are caught. For now, reporting in southeast Fresno, I'm Kaylee Hunt, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
In developing news, officials in Duncan, Oklahoma continue to investigate a shooting outside of a Walmart that left 3 people dead. It happened around 10 o'clock this morning. Officials say the gunman shot a man and a woman inside a vehicle, then shot himself. The victims had been inside the Walmart prior to the shooting. The female victim worked at Walmart. All 3 people knew each other. Walmart says this was an isolated incident. The victims have not yet been identified. For breaking news alerts, you can always download our mobile app. You can also go to our website, yourcentralvalley.com.